I'm not going to stop until the person is beaten. I don't care. I don't care who you are. I don't care who it is that's standing in my way. If I say I'm going to beat you, I will beat you. Training the next day, I said, oh, I'm very nervous, and he was like, no, you'll be fine, and blah 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 and stuff. And we get promoted, and the place that we want to play is Premiership football, and give Jose Mourinho a run for his money if he's still there. Adi adi adio, adi adi adio. Where the city FC, red and white army.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the weekly podcast. The second episode of this year, third one altogether. And today we've got a very, very special guest in terms of Cornell Brumant. Hello, Cornell. Welcome.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning to the podcast. Thank you for having me as a very special guest, though.
Thank you for coming on there, Cornell. Now, Cornell is a Leicester City fan, aren't you, Cornell?
Yes, I am, yeah.
Would you like to tell the fans a bit about yourself before we get into this?
Yes. My name is Cornell Brumant. I'm 28 years old. I've been living in Lincoln for 18 years. I'm originally from London, in South London. I used to live not far away from the Oval Cricket Ground, which is in Kennington, which is not far away from Elephant and Castle down there and things like that. So yeah, that's all I can say really, to be honest. But obviously living in Lincoln is fantastic. It's quiet. It's much more. There's no dramas like how London is sometimes. Is at the moment with all what's going on with coronavirus and all those things. And I'm really enjoying life with up here in Lincoln, and then and with my mum as well too.
Yeah, that's brilliant to hear, Cornell.
Thank you very much.
London beginnings. I guess my first question is, before we get to Dan and Ashton, like, what football team did you used to support from the beginning? And second of all, what made you support Lincoln?
Well, my first team was Man United. I really enjoyed watching Manchester United play some wicked football under the Alex Ferguson. Well, sir, because he was knighted by the Queen. And things like that. Watching Roy Keane to Peter Schmeichel to David Beckham back in the day when he was good for the free kicks. Andy Cole, Dwight York, so many legends, including Ryan Giggs, and things like that. I always thought that the Premier League was always a superior thing to watch these days. Yeah. Like many years ago when it was just Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, Spurs, the big teams, including Liverpool in it as well, and Man City in it as well. But the main teams was always Arsenal and Manchester United. I always thought, the Premier League is way better than watching the EFL. But since that era has completely gone, since Jose Mourinho came into the mix as well, with him winning trophies after trophies at Chelsea and stuff like that, then things has changed. And a year ago, and I'm going to be really honest, I never cared about the EFL at times or whatever. When there's an EFL team playing, my mum would always come to me and say, "Oh, Cornell, this team in the EFL won," and things are like, I don't care. I more care about the teams in the Premier League. And then since then, and then I see this team called Lincoln City playing, and I was like, wow, I love the way they're playing. And then seeing the likes of Matt Reed playing, when you got a beast like him who can head the ball and who's not afraid of nobody, then things change. When you got Elliot Whitehouse, who used to play so well, Nathan Arnold back in, who was playing well for Lincoln City. Yes, and I remember sitting down there watching Exeter beat Lincoln City when they were in the playoffs, which was very embarrassing at the time, because they drew at 0-0 in the first leg, and they had to go to Exeter City's ground to go and actually get a win there, but they didn't, and that was in the Cowley era. And then I remember watching the FA Cup run where Lincoln City was tearing teams apart, from Ipswich to Brighton to Burnley to all teams in the FA Cup, and it was just an amazing, and I just felt the passion. And then I see the fans, the way that they run from the stands to go and lift up the players, even that National League win. I weren't there, but I remember watching it back and seeing, you know, how Danny Cowley brought Lincoln where it is today and put it where it is today in League One today. But what really got me passionate about Lincoln as well was just watching players play, give their 100%, give their all, have the willingness to win, the spirit that they've got in this team. It's just amazing. And just watching those legends, you know, pass the torch now to all the younger generations that Appleton has in this team right now, it's just amazing. And how we're playing is just brilliant. And what Appleton is doing, he's doing the best job that you ever see. Just like how the Cowley brothers did with the success. And without their success, we would not be in League One. We would not be winning, you know, checker trade trophies after checker trade trophies. I even remember that game in 2018 when Elliot Whitehouse scored that winner and Matt Reed causing problems for Joe Barton, you know, pushing him around like if he's at school, like he's in a school playground, like he wants to box him or something in his mouth and stuff like that. It was just a joy to watch. And, you know, even Nathan Arnold running riot behind the Ipswich defence and putting them out of their misery. That was one of the greatest memories of watching Lincoln City. But if I had one little memory, I'll say it's the cup run and the success of the Checker Trade Trophy. And I just really love watching Lincoln, and I feel there's more to come from us this season. Do you know what I mean?
What made you want to come down to Lincoln of all cities? Like,
what made me come down to Lincoln was we wanted a change. We wanted a change of environment. You know, be around different people, get to know people who we don't know, and stuff like that. It was just that we wanted to change from where I'm from in London to be here. And to meet new faces that I've never seen before. So that's the reason why I left. That's why my mum and I left left London to come here.
Who's your favourite Lincoln player in memory?
Oh God, there's been so many players that I've seen on that Lincoln roster. And if I had any player that was the best in memory, I would definitely say Harry Toffolo.
Yeah,
left back.
Yeah, because the reason why I say Harry Toffolo is because every time Harry Toffolo would get the ball, he'll just run down the wing, he'll put crosses into the box, and he wasn't afraid to take on any opposition. He feared nothing. And then if I had a second player who was my best favourite memory, it has to be Bruno Andrade.
Yeah.
Because Bruno Andrade was the creator. He was a playmaker. He just showed the brilliance of going forward. He wasn't scared to take anyone on. He wasn't scared of the opposition. Even if they put 2-3 defenders in front of him, he would just take them on. But for me, it has to be Harry Toffolo for me. Every step of the way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally understand that, Cornell. Now, you know, with Lincoln City and everything, you have seen. Hello, toddler. Well, I have any questions for Cornell? Yeah, as you were saying, Cornell, you are a Lincoln City fan, and you know you got the wonderful opportunity, didn't you, of becoming a Lincoln City steward. Like, explain that for us. How did it come about, and how much did you enjoy it, and what experiences do you have from it?
How it came about, there was this guy called Steward who used to work in the council downstairs in the voluntary centre.
Steward the Steward.
Yeah, no. I wish that was. It was a guy anyway. He used to work in the voluntary centre downstairs in the council, and he had job and basically every time I'd always be going to him to see what jobs I could go and get.
Yeah.
So I was looking through like social media and stuff, and then he had 2 jobs going. So he had another job going, and he had a steward job.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, this steward job looks very interesting. So I said, oh, why don't I go and look it up and see what it's about? And then I showed my mum it, and my mum said, oh, go and put your name down for it. So I put my name down for it, and blah 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 and stuff. And then the next thing, I basically kind of like the person got back to me and said to me, oh, they want to invite me for an interview and stuff like that. And then the next thing I went to the same guy, Mr. Alan Welsh, who was one of my favorite guys there, and then went through the interview. He told me about himself, and I told him about myself too, and then everything else and all the personal things and blah blah blah. And then the next thing, he accepted me on the job, and then that's how I was nervous at start. So I said to him when I went training the next day, I said, oh, I'm very nervous. And he was like to me, oh, yeah, you'll be fine and blah, blah, blah and stuff. And I did feel nervous because I've never conquered or seen a crowd so like it. And then on the first day of the season, when we was playing Swindon Town, on the first day of when we was still in League 2 at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember just sitting on this white stool, and I got to meet everyone, all the staff, and at first, all they didn't like me much though, but you know that's normal. And then the next thing, I sat on this white stool, and I see a crowd called 617 Squadron. I was like, I've never heard of them, and I was like, I've never heard an atmosphere so loud, so intense, so immense, and it was just amazing. And the experience I have is just, it's to do with health and safety, making sure that the fans are safe and there's no incidents. There's going to be fighting or there's going to be bad incidents happening. But that was more my experience and just having a good time. And I really enjoyed it, and meeting the staff, of course. I mean, even seeing at the time Danny Cowley in real life was just an amazing thought too. And I just was so over the moon, and meeting the players as well for the first time, even meeting Matt Reed as well, although I felt a bit scared meeting him though.
Yeah,
he's like he's so big, and he's an absolute beast and stuff like that. But I really enjoyed it, and being around Lincoln fans, and it really made me feel welcome, and they made me feel respected and stuff like that. So it is hard, but I really enjoyed it, and meeting the media team as well. They're a nice bunch, I like to get involved with their musics and stuff like that. So, but it was a fantastic experience, and I'm very proud to have done 2 years there. I know with the situation that's going on right now with Corona, with the coronavirus thing, but that's gone now. So but I really enjoyed doing 2 years of it, and then I just wanted to be part of the fans and cheer Lincoln on and cheer them on all the way, just like we're going to go all the way this season.
Yeah. I suppose it was a good experience for you to get free match days and everything.
Yeah. Well, I was very, very lucky to get those things, and especially I remember even going to my first game, which was against Everton when we played them in the 3rd round, and it was just an amazing moment that day. The results sucked, but at least we played against the big side, and it's a shame we can't do that this season, really, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, it would have been nice to take on Tottenham.
Yeah, Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, imagine playing against Harry Kane,
Son, God. Gareth Bale.
Yeah, Gareth Bale.
For the richest men in the world.
Yeah, under Jose Mourinho.
Wow. That's just like it's a thing of Jesus. What happened to Marine was like amazing, wasn't it? Them having
It was, yeah. I really respect Marine very, very well, and I think for them to stand up to Tottenham is amazing. Yeah, they got beat, but they had the experience of playing against a top side like Tottenham. Just like if we had beaten Plymouth in the second round, we would have gone and take on a big team. We would have taken on Arsenal or taken on Spurs.
Yeah.
But maybe next season we might do that when the fans are back in.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
In the Championship, you know, you got big teams as well, haven't you? Like
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Kind of like running.
Yeah, it's bad luck, but the thing is, or whatever, you know, Championship is a hard league, and there are hard teams in there. You know, you have Middlesbrough and you have Wickham in there who just got promoted. Watford, who's fighting for promotion. You know, you've got Stoke in there, and you've got Sheffield Wednesday. Despite we played them and we got beat to them, but you know we might play them very, very soon when we get in the Championship. So there's a lot to expect. Expectations are expected.
Before the season started, where did you think that Lincoln would finish?
I think I expected last season when we were still in League One, which we are right now. I expected that Lincoln would finish in the top half of the table.
Yeah.
And because of how the Cowleys had brought us so far, I thought there was more to come from us Imps really last season. But because of the controversy of them leaving and how they left was just completely unfair, then things started to wilt down. And then we couldn't find a manager. Everyone was thinking it was going to be either Gareth Ainsworth. We all thought it was going to be him. We thought it was going to be Kevin Nolan. We thought it was going to be Sol Campbell or all the other candidates that were wanted to be the manager of Lincoln City. But unfortunately, Gareth Ainsworth turned that down and thought, oh, do you know what? I'd rather just stay with Wickham, help Wickham get up promotion and stuff like that. But then Michael Appleton comes along and then he changes things. And you know, he has a philosophy of bringing in young players who are willing to wear the shirt and who's willing to play for the Mighty Imps. So I basically thought we was going to finish in the top half. But unfortunately, we finished 16th, which was still a good place to finish, but it would have been nice to finish in the top 4. I mean, if Tyler Walker didn't leave, you know, despite he wasn't our player and he was a Cowley signing, you know, I think we still would have been in the top 4. And I think he would have still been top scorer, not Evan Atoni, despite Evan Atoni going to the Championship and making history with Brentford and stuff like that. But for me, I wanted us to finish in the top half. And look at this season right now. Despite the coronavirus business, we're top of the table. Instead said and done.
How do you think Lincoln will do in the Championship if they get there?
I think we'll give it an absolute go. We've got the ability to take on tough big teams. You know, you watch the Championship this season. There are some tough teams in there. You know, you look at Derby, for example. I mean, despite they lost their game yesterday in the Championship yesterday, you know, you see how Wayne Rooney is doing with Derby. They're looking good. You know, you look at Peterborough and look at their squad and how good they are. And you look at Millwall, who we would have to face in the Championship very, very soon. Look how they're doing. And you look at Brentford, but probably Brentford will be in the Premier League by then, and stuff like that. And you look at all these big teams in there, and you got Blackburn, and you got Sheffield Wednesday, who's also decent. It gives us a chance to really make not just us fans, but the board, the chairman of the board, to really invest in this club. But we will have a chance of competing against the best teams in the Championship and prove once and for all that we are superior. Because I did say this to some fans. I said, as long as we finish higher and we finish higher in the table, which we are doing, and we get promotion to the Championship, I don't care if it's first, I don't care if it's automatic promotion, I don't care if it's playoffs. As long as we are finishing higher in the table, in League One, we are promoted to the Championship and we play the best football. I don't care if we go down, because I don't want Lincoln to be playing Grimsby or Scunthorpe no more.
Yeah.
We're done with these teams right now. We need to be going up the table. We have to be showing our rivals that we are not the same like how we were before. We need to be playing championship. Stay there for one season. Yeah, even if we finish, I don't care if we finish 10th or we finish wherever down the table, and we stay there for one season. Let Appleton build the team, build it up, beat it up, and then the second season after that, we get promoted, and the place that we want to play is Premiership football, because we want to be taking on the big teams. We want to be taking on Arsenal. We want to be taking on Chelsea. We want to be taking on Spurs. Yes, Liverpool. Yes, give them a bit of a run for their money, and give Jurgen Klopp a run for his money, and give Jose Mourinho a run for his money if he's still there. He might be sacked by then, and stuff like that. So that's the thing. I'm playing against Arsenal, winding up Arsenal fans and winding up troops, winding up Mr. DT, wind them up and stuff like that. That's what I want us to do, and prove to them, yeah, we might just be some tin pot team, but we're going to take you on and we're going to push you to the limit, and then prove all the pundits wrong on Sky Sports. Prove every single pundit who has a biasness towards us. That's where I want us to be. And for everyone to just get behind this team, support the team, and for many years to come.
Yeah.
Consolidation has been like a big part of the board's plans. Do you think, but because 2 seasons is not really enough to say we're trying to consolidate if we get promoted this season, do you think what they really meant was the championship consolidation, building up the championship level and everything? Is that
that's what I mean. Yes, build it up more, because when you're in the championship and stuff, you have to have a team that can take on the best, because if you don't, you're going to go down, and then that's how all the funding is going to get lost and all those things. Within
10 years of us being non-league going to the top of English football, that would be ridiculous.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah. Do you know what's very interesting as well? I'm actually doing a football career on FIFA 21 as Lincoln City, and then I swapped them. I swapped Sheffield United for Lincoln City and put them in the Prem, and then I ended up actually being first with Lincoln City in the first half of the season. Beating all the big teams and so on, and then having Tom Hopper scoring like 30 odd goals for Lincoln City. Really cool. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That doesn't even happen in League One, never mind the Premier League.
Oh my God. Imagine that in League One. Imagine Tom Hopper being the top scorer in League One for us right now.
Can you imagine?
I'd like taking on Lewis Montsma.
I know, God.
Seriously,
and George,
centre half in the world.
Could you imagine Tom Hopper listening to this podcast going, right, I'm going to score 30 goals from now, and he scores like a record amount of goals from January onwards?
Yeah, that would just be... I could just imagine him just listening and probably saying, yeah, I'll probably go and score 30 goals for Lincoln right now just to make you feel happy. Just to put a big smile on your face, though.
just for a pay rise, too.
Yeah, just for a pay rise, and let Michael Appleton give me my money and blah, blah, blah. Michael Appleton is just an amazing guy, Yeah. I think for me personally, but with Tom Hopper on the other hand, I think his confidence is going to get higher and higher and higher if everyone just gets behind him. Yeah, he's going to have his good and bad games, but just get behind him and just support him.
He's a false nine, really, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. Really? His link-up play with Brennan is just amazing to watch. But I'd love to see Morgan, Morgan Rogers getting there as well, too.
Yeah. Of course.
Who was your favourite Lincoln chant?
My favourite Lincoln chant, there's been so many, and I've learned a lot from the 617 squadron, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to say, Adi Adio, we're the City FC, Red and White Army.
Go on, sing it for us, Cornell.
Adi Adio, Adi Adio, we're the City FC, Red and White Army. And every time I say that, I always shout, we're the Red Army, and then the 617 squadron always responds to that, and that's just so amazing.
And I think
they
sing your name, don't they?
They do. Yes. That was. I remember one of the games. It was Northampton Town, and
Yeah.
I was sitting down on the stool, on the white stool, and then the next thing I hear, "Cornell, give us some. Cornell, give us some. Cornell, give us some." And then I stood up, and I started waving at them, and they're like, "Hey!" and then the next thing, the steward comes and tells and comes, and then they're like, "Woo!" So they all boo at the steward, and it's like, okay. But yeah, I remember that. I remember that day. I remember when Grimsby was playing Lincoln once, and I remember just seeing me standing there. When I hear Harry Toffolo just score, he was just running there, and I was like, I had my back turned. And then the next thing I know, I'm just like patting him on the back and just like giving him a hug when they scored. I was like, okay.
That's the beauty of low league football. You don't get that in the Premier League.
Yeah, of course, yeah, because you don't want to be standing there all hard and stuck up. You want to be part of the fans. You want to take part. But yeah, there will be times. Yeah, you got to really do your job and stuff. You know, you don't want to get penalised for something for no apparent reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I bet you were the coolest steward any fans ever seen.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I'll to be honest, I was the coolest like stewards and stuff like that, and it was just a joy just standing there and watching fans walk up and down and sit in their seats and stuff like that. And then every time the music comes on the speakers and blah blah blah, I'm always like dancing to it, because especially to my favorite ones that I obviously listen to, because like I like all different types of music and things like that, all sorts. If I had any favorite tune, I'll say Brian Storm by Arctic Monkeys.
Of course,
one of the best.
That's a good song. But I've got to ask, like, because you've done like dance moves and dancing and raving in your live streams before, did you do that as a steward in front of the fans? I did do a few of the dances or whatever, and then everyone would just get their phones and then they'll start recording it and then put it on the banter page and stuff. And then I think as well, I watch how some people dance on the television as well. I remember watching this dance by Liam Payne, and Liam Payne was just the dance move that Liam Payne did was just so amazing. Mm-hmm. And then obviously I've been to like reggae raves as well. Well too, so especially up here. So basically I learned a few dance moves from there as well too. People look at me and say, "Wow, he's good." I couldn't and then I remember even when I was doing my little live streams on Facebook and Instagram and all the things, they say, "Oh, you even dance better than I do." I was like, "Okay, that's fair ado. Yeah, that's what you think. That's what you think, and fair ado. I respect that very well." Do you think you could take on Callum's Corner in a dance-off?
Probably, but he might have better moves than probably I would.
Oh, come on, Cornell. You believe yourself.
No, I'm messing around. Yeah, probably. I'm messing around. Yeah, I'll probably take him on a dance move. Yeah, but listen, everybody dances in their own way. Everybody's got good dance moves in their own way. But there's always going to be someone that might do it better. So it's down to you to prove them wrong and for the other person to prove you wrong.
Mm-hmm. You seem like a person that loves winning, don't you? Like, you seem like winning's like your life kind of thing. You want to win. Yes,
that is true. I've always been a winner. I always like to take things seriously. And but that I don't quit. I don't give up. I'll keep fighting until the very end. I'm not going to stop until the person is beaten. I don't care. I don't care who you are. I don't care who it is that's standing in my way. If I say I'm going to beat you, I will beat you. If I lose, fair play. I'll give you the respect that you deserve.
Yeah.
If they're going to do it just to embarrass me or to make fun of me, then I won't respect you. But like I said, I've always been a fighter, and I won't stop until things come my way. But also, I also let the other opponent win, because they might play something much more than I do. Like FIFA,
Yeah.
for example. You know, FIFA. I take FIFA very seriously because I like to play positive attacking and defensive play. I like to play that because when it comes to counter attacking, then I'm dangerous on the break. It's like when you build an ultimate team, and say for example you put all your ultimate team, all out England players or players from different countries and places. You want to know that you've got the best team. You know, you want to know you got the best goalkeeper, the best defense, the best midfield, the best strikers, and not forgetting your formations as well too. You want to play 4-4-2, you want to play 4-4-3. You know, that's another thing. It's like if you're managing a team that you really love. I mean, you don't have to always manage Lincoln all the time if you don't want to. You can always manage another team because that's your choice. But if you want to manage one team and you feel it's Lincoln, yeah, congratulations. You know what I mean? So that's how it goes. It's like when you play Football Manager 2021 or 2020. You know, you want to create your own team. You feel the team that you feel you're going to create. You visualize and say, wow, this team can really take on the best. I can buy the best players, or you can buy the best players, and you feel, okay, yeah, I want to challenge. I want to create my own team. Whatever team you decide to create, whatever formation you want to go, if it's virtual tiki-taka, if it's tiki-taka, you want to play positive football just to give the opposition a chance, then you do it. That's how I roll. But I've always been a fighter. Really, to be fair, I don't stop.
Oh, brilliant! That's an inspirational message to anyone, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just to never give up and everything.
It's like watching John Cena on the television, and you see John Cena down and out, and he'll just get up, and he'll just keep on going and going and going. That's what he would. That's what he would do because he never gives up and he never quits.
Yeah. Inspirational message there, Cornell, to anyone, really. So, Dan Ashton, got any more for Cornell?
Well, this is kind of a FIFA one, but how do you defend on FIFA? Because I can't defend on FIFA.
The way you can defend, you go into your team management or your squad, depending on who you're gonna manage, and then you go into instructions, which is at the far end. Just after roles, and then you've got your players, and then you've got like all these different tactics, and then you can either get behind, like for the goalkeeper, for example, you can put him as a sweeper goalkeeper. If you want him to come off his line regularly, you can let him do that. If you want him to just stay on his line, then you can set it to that instead of it being default. Same thing for the defense as well. It's like for the right back. If you want the right back to bomb forward, you just put it, instead of it being diverted, you just turn it to overlap.
Yeah.
Still put them, to be to make aggressive interceptions. That's how you do your defense. Yeah. So if it's a centre back, put it to aggressive interceptions. So when the opposition is coming to you and coming to attack your defense, then you can put them out of their misery, and you leave it introverted, or you leave it to default, then you're more likely your defense is gonna get broke down. Same thing for your defensive midfield. You know, if you want your defensive midfielder to man mark, you set it to man mark. That's how I do it. Just to be one step ahead of my opponent. But that's how you do for your defense. Always remember, it's the aggressive interceptions. You set your defender to, and then sweep a goalkeeper for your goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I see that FIFA has become more tactical, because in previous years it's been less tactical, hasn't it? You just have fun. Yeah, but like I feel that defending, the reason you can't defend is literally because you've got the wrong tactics. I feel, and this is probably why Dan asked the question. It's much harder to defend in FIFA, in my opinion. Like for me, it's much harder. Like every time I go to tackle, like most of the time I'll miss, because like I don't know what's happened to the game engine, but it's really made it difficult to defend.
Yeah, when you click the player somehow it's a penalty.
Yeah,
Barely.
exactly. If you give him a little touch on the leg or tap on the shoulder, like you can literally pat them on the back and it's penalty. Mike Dean comes out, red card. VAR might as well be in the game. It's not annoying.
Oh no, I don't want VAR in that. No,
I
Sean.
know exactly.
No, because if you had
Yeah.
VAR in it or whatever, then the referee would just be going straight to VAR and say, okay, that's a penalty. Yeah, that's a free kick. Yeah, red card. Yeah, that was a serious elbow or whatever.
It could be a good game mode feature because everyone's been asking for like a referee career mode. So just do a VAR here, a couple of decisions you have to make or something.
Have you tried out that Volta football?
Oh
yeah.
Yes, I love playing Anthony Joshua.
Do you know what's like really interesting? I was watching one of the videos. I think it was Big Zulu, that West London rapper, and he had this video out, and he was talking about the Volta football and about his tune or whatever that was basically on the Volta football. That's like really good, and it showed how he was playing as Liverpool and the other person was playing as Man City, and that was really good. And about how FIFA games is so important and how inspiring it can be, especially playing as your favorite team and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I completely understand, Cornell. The Volta match, like for me, the thrill of the Volta match, it's fast paced and everything. I feel playing with Anthony Joshua is quite good.
Why is he in the game?
I don't know, but he's very explosive on the pitch. Like he knocks everyone out with his shot power.
It makes me laugh. Well, I think the reason why he's in it because he wants to prove something. So when he takes on Fury, then he feel okay. Fury, I'm here. Yeah, you want all of me? Come and get it.
Yeah, he could be like on the pitch saying, "If I can't beat you in the ring, I'll beat you at Volta."
Yeah, well, he can do all them things that he wants.
Yeah.
But come May, when Eddie Hearn decides to make it official, things are going to change, and he's going to get beat.
The heavyweight division's just going to go explode, isn't it? Really?
Exactly. Since seeing Mike Tyson and in the ring, and that was one of the best boxing matches I've ever seen, despite the draw. And I think with AJ, I think he's all talk and stuff like that. He's with Fury, it's just different.
Well, with AJ, in my opinion, he's not been the same since the Ruiz fight. Since he lost, good. He got Ruiz back in the second match, but you can make a very good argument he didn't prepare enough for Ruiz because he was like literally eating like an animal, wasn't he? Ruiz, I think he went to every buffet in Mexico before that fight. But for me, Fury's just a better boxer. He's more natural for me. He's rope and dope, and he's just awkwardness. He's just gonna outbox AJ, in my opinion. And I think
of course he will do.
Yeah,
he'll outbox him and stuff. And I think Lloris with Lloris or whatever, it was completely different with him because as soon as he got in the ring, he just had a vision. And he looked at Anthony Joshua, was like, listen, you might be the best heavyweight in the heavyweight division right now, but I'm gonna knock you out. And said and done. Reese knocked him out. It's like Klitschko almost knocked him out, but obviously AJ got up. Stuff like that. So it's gonna be absolutely different with Fury and AJ in the ring. And then we will see who's the best heavyweight. Is it Fury or is it Anthony Joshua? Because we all know it's Fury because since Fury had his mental mental health problems and stuff like that behind closed doors and blah blah blah, he's just been on a different level. He took on Wilder. Wilder thought he could push him. Didn't happen. Wilder almost knocked him out and left Fury laying in the middle of the ring. But Fury got up and showed the courage and showed the heart that he had. And then the second fight, was the same thing. He outboxed Wilder. And then what was very funny just after that match was basically Wilder was blaming his manager for the costume. I was like, really?
Yeah.
You're blaming your own manager for the costume. Just for your costume. What is this? Are you having a laugh right now? And then the next thing he comes out in a video and says, "Yeah, I'm ready to take on I'm ready to take on Fury and blah 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 and all that things." No. You lost. You got beat. Accept it. Move on. Go and face somebody else. That's how I feel.
Dillian White. But the only costume Wilder was wearing is that alter ego of his, I think.
Well, with Dylan White was different because Dylan White thought, "Oh yeah, it's Povetkin. Yeah, I'm gonna. As soon as I get in the ring, I'm gonna knock out Povetkin. Yeah, you fought wrong. You're down."
Yeah. I think with the Ruiz fight as well, I remember a boxing analyst saying, "Look here, where Ruiz goes down, but he realises AJ's reluctant to throw hands and go back and forth." I think that's when he kind of realised it for me in that match, because AJ was squinting a little bit once he'd knocked Ruiz down the first time. Then Ruiz got him down, I think 2-3 times after that, didn't he?
Yeah.
But for me, for Tyson Fury, he's beaten Klitschko better than AJ did. I know that AJ knocked him down and everything, but like for me, he just outboxed Klitschko. Klitschko could do nothing to him until like round 11 and 12, and that was too late. I think for me, Fury just completely shows Klitschko off, and then you see Wilder, like an overweight, weak Fury, outbox Wilder and get up from Wilder's knockout. And then the second one, just dominate Wilder and beat him in round 7 or whatever it was. It was, Fury's just amazing at the moment, and we just need to get this fight over with before they're too old for each other.
Exactly, yeah.
We need to get the fight underway. Rematch clause. To be honest, if it's a rematch, maybe AJ might have a better chance in the rematch. But definitely this match, 100% Fury's winning, in my opinion. What's your opinion, like Ashton?
I don't really watch boxing, to be fair.
Fair enough. Have you got a question for Cornell?
I've got no more questions now.
Fair enough, lad. Daniel?
For me in boxing, I don't watch it that often, but for me it's AJ's all about the speed that he's got. He's got nothing apart from speed.
Yeah, and power. Power.
Yeah, I agree with that totally. Yeah, that's all he's got. But I think when it comes to coordination, I don't think he's got all of that, to be fair.
He fights straight on, doesn't he? And that's very dangerous sometimes if you fight straight on. You have to curve your body to the side a little bit, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, you've seen recent fights like David Haye and Tony Bellevue. Like when it was that fight or whatever, Tony Bellevue didn't do any of that. He just had a vision and he just dominated David Haye, and David Haye just had to pull out because of his Achilles heel injury.
Oh yeah, he got injured. And the second fight, you just saw like total dominance on Bellevue.
Right. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, and then I think after that fight, and he went and go and fight someone else, then he had to step down.
Yeah.
So right now it's a new generation now. I mean, there'll be even new fights coming ahead. Yeah. I mean, look, Conor McGregor is going to fight in UFC right now very soon.
Yeah.
And then he's got to go on and take on McGregor and he's got to take on Pacquiao very soon.
Yeah, Pacquiao. He's agreed to fight Pacquiao. Boxing is getting crazy. McGregor loses to Mayweather, and he'll probably lose to Pacquiao because Pacquiao will probably outbox him. It's crazy to see Logan Paul in the ring with Mayweather.
Oh my God, Logan Baker. Oh my God, he's really annoying. He's even like his brother Jake Paul.
Oh.
You know what really gets me about Jake Paul? I mean, it's okay for you to call out Conor McGregor It's all right to run up your mouth about Conor McGregor's wife, and run him down and all that thing.
Dana
I mean,
White.
you know, you don't need to Dana White. You don't need to do any of that.
No.
I mean, yes, I know you want to fight Conor McGregor so bad and whatever, but what's the point? You're just making it worse and worse and worse. Because even if you do fight Conor McGregor is still going to beat you,
and he's going to beat him harder because
because you did things and then you go and cause fight in LA. You want to fight some one of the public members on the streets of LA. That's wrong. You can't go and do that.
I hate Jake Paul, to be honest. I think he's very egotistical, and he's done one or two nice things in like some videos, but they're only tendencies. People can do some nice things, but if your majority horrible, it's not good. Like for me, Jake Paul is horrible because first of all on his runs, like he said, "Oh, be original." In the first boxing match against Deji, but then you realise that video came out about him. Those symbols are from a different bloody website, and they're already made. And then second of all, right, he's like getting all thinking he's the best boxer right now, the most popular fighter. When he beats an NBA player that's only had 2-3 months experience, beat a YouTuber who's only slick and got nothing else.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's beat a Neeson Gibb who can't box to save his life.
Exactly.
And he thinks he's better than bloody McGregor.
He's not. He's not.
They've chose it to be an exhibition match so he doesn't die.
Yeah. You're not allowed to knock him out.
Oh my God, really?
Conor's going to kill him.
He is. Literally, he's going to play with him like a toy.
Yeah, he'll just knock him out in a blow. If he could just fight him in a UFC octagon, he would do it.
Who's Jake Paul fought in an actual boxing match? We're not talking about sparring where they take it kindly with you and you fight Ryan Garcia when he's like just wants a play fight. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about an actual boxing fight. He fought a 5'7" NBA player. He's very athletic, very good in the NBA scene, but boxing's not his sport. Although you have to respect him for coming out at Jake and going for it. You have a Neeson Gibb who's just wobbly all over the place. He gave the pressure though. People like to pressure Jake, but Jake handles himself. But that's because they can't box with it. And then Deji, who took him to round 5, respects to Deji. Very good performance from him. Better than everyone expected. But yet again, Deji smashed his face up. He still came above adversity. But if your best boxer you fought in a boxing match is Deji, and you're saying you're really, really good and you can handle Dillian Dallas, whatever you call him, then that's a bit delusional in my opinion. He's getting ahead of himself for me, going out saying, "Oh, I want McGregor, I want Dillian Dallas, I want Woody Pacquiao, I want blah blah blah." Calm down, mate. I don't think you can beat your brother.
No, not even KSI. Even KSI beat Logan.
Yeah.
Beat Logan Paul and Logan.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's why Mayweather wants to fight Logan, not you, Jake, because he knows Logan's better. Logan's got the better jab. He's taller. He's got a better reach. Not because you're in fights, you don't have to be taller to be better, because different weight classes, everything. But like for me, Jake Paul, like he's definitely shown some of the best boxing out of YouTube. But you have to think the level of opponent. Everyone's getting ahead of themselves, saying Jake's actually shown. Everyone's like going, "Oh, what's a knockout against Nate Robinson?" Yeah, exactly. You just said it. Nate Robinson. Nate bloody Robinson, an NBA player.
Oh my God, seriously. There's going to be so many events going on throughout this new year. I think obviously McGregor coming out of retirement.
Oh yeah.
Obviously Mayweather coming to face Logan Paul and stuff. I mean, obviously Mayweather will easily win that because he wouldn't want to end his streak because that streak would never be broken. It's like for example, The Undertaker is a prime example. Everybody thought The Undertaker was going to go on and carry on being 21-0, but no one could beat him. Shawn Michaels tried to do it. He tried to hit sweet chin music on him, didn't work. Triple H thought he could just injure him at WrestleMania 27 with chairs and even knocking him out with his own sledgehammer in the face.
Exactly. Yeah.
Triple H couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. And then what Shawn Michaels is like. He likes to hype it up and stuff. And he thought, oh yeah, I know who's gonna win. But
I don't get down to anybody.
Exactly. That's what he thought. But Triple H was just under the water. CM Punk thought he could do it. Didn't work. And then Brock Lesnar, and then Brock Lesnar just destroys The Undertaker and puts him out of his misery, and everybody was shocked, and it was one of the shockest moments in WrestleMania history. So that's a prime example there.
It was that shocked face guy that did it for me that made me laugh. With the
yeah, oh my God, especially with the guy with the glasses. He's like,
yeah, I know, right?
But okay. I know you're actually shocked.
The Royal Rumble did it for me when Brock Lesnar comes out and gets everyone out of the ring, and then just some random person that no one's heard of comes in and just gets him out of the ring.
Oh my God, so amazing that one. I mean, that was Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre thought, okay, yeah, I'm coming up against the Beast. Chuck him out the ring, and see his reaction. And then he thought, okay, because he was chucked out of the Rumble, I thought, yeah, let me go toe to toe with Drew McIntyre and let me take him down. Now I thought wrong.
Drew McIntyre. He's in his prime right now. Really good. It's a shame about that test and everything. That was it, the injury or whatever, recently. But for me, he's very good now. Like he always has been, but he's risen to a potential I don't think anyone thought of him. It's really good to see. It's representing Great Britain, Scotland, really. But we say Great Britain because we like to take the credit. But the first British round to win Rumble. But I think it's amazing to see Drew McIntyre do that. But Brock Lesnar, yet again, I remember seeing Goldberg come out and eliminate him from the Rumble. That was something.
Oh, that was so cool, though. Goldberg. Oh my God. Goldberg was a terror back in the day.
He's one of the worst, technical wrestlers ever, but he's still a good gimmick.
Yeah, he's still good.
Yeah.
I think the best thing about Goldberg is that when he say you're next. If he's gonna hit you with a spear, he'll spear you. If he's gonna hit you with a jackhammer, he'll hit you with a jackhammer.
Yeah.
And every single opponent that had come into the ring with him was absolutely scared, was completely scared of Goldberg. They'll think, oh my God, I don't want to go in the ring because he'll just spear you off a spear.
Yeah, exactly. That's brilliant that we're all like wrestling and everything. But I think for me, here's an interesting fact. Did you know? I think was it WrestleMania 25 or something? Did you know Randy Orton was set to beat The Undertaker until the last minute arrangement because the Legend Killer and everything, he was set to break the streak of The Undertaker, but he didn't. Which I found phenomenal and everything. Because Legend Killer, you remember that gimmick back in the day where he used to beat all the legends and be like, the Legend Killer. I think he even RKO'd his dad once.
Oh yes, I remember seeing that on YouTube once.
Yeah,
I've seen some weird things on WWE. I remember seeing on YouTube Donald Trump getting stone cold stunned by Stone Cold Steve Austin.
The worst stunner ever, but still against Donald Trump, it's amazing.
That was so amazing, though. I just remember that because it was a hair match.
Yeah.
Versus because it was Vince McMahon versus Donald Trump, and then Steve Austin was the special guest referee, and he made he always made Vincent Kennedy McMahon's life a living hell. Back in the Attitude Era, especially for The Rock. When it was The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin when he got his kick.
Boss versus wrestler was like the storyline that won the ratings against WCW. But I think if you go back to it, the thing is about Vince McMahon, right? Do you remember when he was going to his car and he was about to explode and he was never going to be seen in the public eye again? He would still been alive, but he was pretending he had died and everything. And he went to go in the limo and it getting exploded, right? Did you see Paul London smiling and waving at Vince McMahon right before?
No, I didn't see it, but I did see something like that on YouTube.
Yeah.
As I was watching from how wrestling was back in the day and how WWE was and all the mayhem that was caused and stuff. But I remember like watching wrestling as a kid or whatever. But obviously for me, I remember watching it back on YouTube, and it was some of the best moments in ever in WWE history.
Yeah. Paul London, he got fired after that for smiling and waving at Vince McMahon before he died.
But Vince McMahon was always the guy that always liked to fire people and always liked to show his authority because he created it and made WWE how it is today with the billions of dollars that he earns.
Yeah, exactly. Wrestling, like it's been amazing over the years. What would you say your favourite moment was, Cornell?
I think my favorite moment for me personally in wrestling, I'd have to say, there's been so many things that have happened in WWE. I've got to say Ronda Rousey making her debut.
Really?
Yeah, in WWE.
Oh,
that was my favorite moment when Ronda Rousey came into it and she made her debut in WWE in the Women's Royal Rumble, made history, becoming the youngest ever person to make her debut, then making Stephanie McMahon's life a living hell by breaking her arm out of her socket. Because obviously Ronda Rousey is the baddest woman on the planet. She fears nothing. She don't care. Tossing Triple H into a table. That was like one of the best moments. But I think for me, Ronda Rousey coming in, and also if I had a second moment of WWE, is Edge.
Oh
yes.
Yeah.
Edge coming back into a ring after 15 years out of a ring. Since 2011, he had to retire after neck surgery and his neck was playing him up. And since his match against Alberto Del Rio that he won, and he had to give the WWE title away to another opponent and stuff, and that was like one of the best moments. Edge coming back out of retirement and just showing what he's made of. He still has that deadly spear. He still has that ruthless streak about him. So that really showed. Edge's feared nobody. So that was my moment. That was my moment for me. And if I had a sad moment in WWE, I've got to say Shawn Michaels ending his career was over that was really heartbreaking. Same thing for Ric Flair. Ric Flair was the dirtiest game player ever. Everything was surrounding him. Evolution was the same as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But unfortunately or whatever, Ric Flair has to pass that torch to his daughter now. So his daughter has to finish what he started, what her father started. So that was my sad moments.
100%. I hated that moment where Shawn Michaels went, "Sorry, I love you," and sweet-chinned Ric Flair and made it his last match and everything. But one of my favorite moments, Cornell, you think you know me.
Oh yes, I love that theme tune so much.
On this day, I see clearly. that was. I remember that at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh my god, just rewatching it back how it used to be. Like it's really changed. It's like, for example, basically music, for example, is a big prime example. Music is not like how it used to be. Like back in the day, you could listen to all different types of music. Like you could listen to pop music back in the day, like it was Tommy Kitten, Eternal, Lighthouse Family, obviously Spice Girls because they were famous back in the day.
Yeah.
And you had so many artists back in that day, including you know, Will Young and Gareth Gates and blah 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 and stuff like that. And then since that, because in that era it was all about, you know, pop music. Obviously, garage came into it as well from back in the day, especially brilliant R&B, brilliant urban, brilliant all different types of music, including indie itself, and not forgetting Dizzy Rascal's Bonkers back in the day. That was like one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah,
And
Dizzy Rascal.
yeah, you know, back in the day, and music right now, as it's getting to a stage, is not like how it used to be at all. And that's why, you know, some people prefer the old modern music, because the old modern music brings back memories of when when the person, he or she, was young and stuff like that, and when they really loved music, and it brings back memories of when things was things back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you talk a lot about your music and everything, like cool. Like,
Yeah.
what is your favourite artist? Because we're discussing this today, weren't we?
For me personally, if I had a favorite artist at the moment from back in the day, many years ago, I'd definitely say Tiny Temper. Even when he came out with that Discovery in 2010,
Yeah,
and as soon as best, he was my favorite artist. Just watching him, listening to him on the stereo was just an amazing moment. Especially when Pass Out came out, that was like one of the best. And what was even better as well, him performing it at Glastonbury with Snoop Dogg, and that was one of the greatest moments. And then as soon as he found out that that same Pass Out song went to number one, things had just changed for him, because he made history himself. And you know, it's not just only him. Kelvin Harris was brilliant as well. I love a bit of Kelvin Harris. You can't beat a bit of Kelvin Harris. Come on, you know, especially Ready for the Weekend. I'm Not Alone. I remember that tune so much on one of the Now CDs. You know, it was just a joy with listening to music. If I had any songs that were fantastic on the Now CD, it would have to be Darren Styles and Styles and Breeze, Heartbeats. Brilliant tune. Probably I'd say It's All About You by McFly. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, and blah, blah, blah. Vertigo, of course, by U2. You know, one of the greats, one of the best. Especially Bono. Bono was always a great artist for U2. And you can't beat a bit of Razorlight. Come on, Razorlight was brilliant as well, especially with their song as well. But there was so many music, you know, even Mariah Carey back in the day, brilliant. Fat Man Scoop as well. Can't beat a bit of Missy Elliott. Come on, love a bit of Missy Elliott. Brilliant artist. Then of course, you know, but I think I like all different types of music. You know, everything. I'm flexible of listening to different music that I've never listened to before. And then like every Sunday, like today, my mum and I would always have Radio 1 Extra on in the house, so we would listen to all different things. And then my main music is grime music. I love grime music, you know, from AJ Tracy's to your Skeptors to your Wileys and to your Kanos and so on. It's like you watch your favorite TV program. Like, for example, I could say Bulletproof South Africa coming on the 20th of Jan. Love that. Brilliant. That's such a brilliant show. But music, yeah, you know, on Sky One. Amazing to watch that, you know. Especially Ashley Walters. Oh my God, he's a bad man. He's an absolute bad man, he is. But, you know, listen, I think it's all right to listen to whatever music you feel. If you feel like listening to your old modern music, you listen to your old modern music. You know, if you want to listen to something else and you want to listen to things that you're not used to listening to, yeah, you know, the best places to go is Radio 1 Extra or Capital Extra or Capital FM if you want to listen to pop and you want to listen to dance electronic. You know, that's something that everyone will have their own opinions of music. Everyone has their likings and stuff, and it's down to you to accept it or not. But, you know, like I said, you know, it's not everybody that's going to like what I like, so it's down to me to accept it. So, you know, and accept people's opinions and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Personally, I like a bit of Queen and, you know, Freddie Mercury and everything.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Yeah, I like a bit of everything as well, to be fair. But
Mm.
I'm not personally the biggest fan of grime.
Yeah, that's fine. I won't
I
got it.
listen to some of it, but like, it's not for me. I prefer the Eminem type of rapping, if anything.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. I respect that very, very well. If you
Yeah.
like Eminem and stuff, and you prefer Eminem's rapping, that's brilliant. I respect that very, very well.
Yeah.
Very, very well. Mine is more to do with I like energetic, motivating music.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you know, like energetic songs that's energetic and that's got extreme, brilliant beat up to date beats to it and stuff like that. You know, so I like to listen to those type of things and things like that.
what about you, Dan? What do you listen to?
Pretty much everything.
Everything.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, if you have a favorite artist that you really like to listen to, who would it be?
Madness.
Madness. Oh yes. Oh yes. Madness is brilliant.
What we've had.
Yes, I love that tune so much. Brilliant
They
tune.
once came to Central Bank, and I love that.
Oh yeah, whenever it's Central Bank. For me, like Madness, they have this identity with their music. It's madness because it's a mad certain way. It's always got that trumpet going. It's mad.
Yeah, it's so mad. Yeah.
It's that like that's why they call themselves Madness, because of that type of music. It's so clever. I admire that.
Yeah.
You know, people that have their own kind of music and they identify with some, like for instance, Queen, they do like pretty much everything, and that's what they're known for because they break the barrier. Madness, they have that kind of music. You know, you have
They just get everyone on their feet.
Yeah, they do, don't they? It's just amazing. They're like they say, they're a bit of madness, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a bit of madness, yeah. And then not only just that, they add a little bit of reggae flavor to it as well.
Yeah,
it's like when you listen to UB40 and you hear their type of reggae tunes. It's just
UB40,
yeah.
UB40. I can't help
I love that tune.
falling in love with you. That's
I
one of
love
my
that.
favourite songs.
I love that tune so much.
Yeah.
It's like even listening to a bit of Bob Marley, you know, like when you listen to Bob Marley and stuff, it's just so amazing. I remember once Bob Marley had released this new tune, I think it was last year, and it was with Robin Schultz, The Same Sun Is Shining, that he used to come up with Funk Star Deluxe. And they put it in a new the same version, but it's a brand new version, but it's with Robin Schultz in it. And I was like, oh, this is such a brilliant tune, amazing tune. And then I thought, oh, I'll just put it in my playlist. And I was like, yeah, that's such a brilliant tune. Do you know what I mean? And stuff right now. It's like Amy Winehouse. It's like Amy Winehouse and stuff. You know, Amy Winehouse was also like that as well before she passed away. You know, she was into ska music, she was into reggae music, and she wasn't afraid to mix it up. It wasn't just pop. You know, and I always remember listening to David Rodigan, who's on Radio 1 Extra, and he plays like reggae, he plays Jamaican dancehall and you know, reggae classics on a Sunday. And he plays a bit of Amy Winehouse, and every time I hear it, I just think it's just amazing just to hear her voice. It's just brilliant.
She's so good, isn't she? For me, you know, Amy Winehouse was amazing. So I had this bus driver I used to know. She was a lovely lady. She used to listen to Amy Winehouse. Right, sent her some fan mail like 2 weeks before she died. Or 2 months, whatever, one of those two. And she just hoped that she got the fan mail, and she cried literally when she died and everything. It was, you know, she sent her a letter or something, and that was like literally a couple of months or something, quite drastic before she died. She just hoped she received it and everything. You know, she hoped she knew how much she meant to her in her life and everything. Because that's the thing with music; it can impact people so much. You know,
it can, especially, But you know, I always respect anyone who has their favorite music and hobbies and interests. It's not even reading a book. You know, if your favorite book is like reading biography and things like that, then you know, you're allowed to read as long as you take your time and you read what you're reading and you understand it. Then things will work out.
I like reading historical books and things when I can.
Yeah. You know what the best thing is? I think as well, just reading, not just reading all different types of books as well. I think watching documentaries on the TV.
Oh, same.
It's like, yeah, you know, it's like when you watch Sir David Attenborough on the television, you learn so much from Sir David Attenborough, especially, you know, in documentary wise, in animals and things like that. You know, it's just so amazing. It's like watching documentaries on Sky, if you have Sky, and things like that. You know, you watch all documentaries on history, and you watch all things on your favorite football team or your favorite football player or someone, or your favorite boxer and so on. You learn stuff that you didn't know before. So it's really different.
Like, it's been an interesting talk, but like, what's your opinions on this lockdown that's happened recently and everything, and like how you coping?
I think the best thing, my opinions on the lockdown is that it's just to stay motivated and keep yourself going. Doesn't matter if you're down and out and stuff like that. Just keep going and to keep doing what you're supposed to be doing during the lockdown and to stay safe. Keep staying. Don't break the rules. You know, and just remember to keep your social distance and to cover your face and stuff and things like that. I think that's the only thing. But I think to get me going in lockdown or whatever, I think it's just to keep staying motivated, really. Even if things get tough, really. To be fair.
Totally. Yeah, like, was Christmas good for you, Cornell? Like...
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Christmas was. Yeah. It was a chilled Christmas, really. To be fair, you know, with good vibes, good and positive vibes. You know what I mean? You know, eating and to be merry, and enjoying Christmas with my mum. Really, to be fair. Yeah. And you know, and watching a bit of television and chilling and stuff like that. So that was my favourite moment of Christmas and things like that. Yeah, watching the soaps on the television was the greatest thing, of course. You know, watching EastEnders and blah blah blah. That was one of the best, and things like that. And then watching a few films as well. You know, especially when you go on Netflix and there's a brilliant film you like and you want to watch it, then cool and stuff like that. But I think just really chilling, really, just being chilled, really, and having some brilliant music and staying motivated, really.
Final question to you from me, Cornell. Like, with New Year and everything, like, how was New Year? And after that, like, what's your reflections on 2020 as a whole?
I think my reflections of 2020 is, I think, just to keep motivated, really, to be fair. I think 2020 was a suckish year, but yeah, I've had good positives and, you know, bad positives as well. But to be fair or whatever, I'm just proud that 2020 is out of the door and we're in 2021, and you know, things will go well, just like things will go well for Lincoln City. We'll still be top of the table. We'll still be winning and things like that, and then things will go well for us. So, you know, like I said, anything is possible when you put your mind at it and you put your mind at ease.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, if you haven't got anything else to add on that, Dan, have you? Like,
just thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for attending the podcast, Cornell. It's been a pleasure to have you on. You know, you've made some really interesting points, talked about some interesting conversations, and for the first podcast ever, we've left football and talked about different things.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, haven't you had that on your podcast from recent guests or whatever?
Yeah, it's been mainly like football. Like, we wanted to get people's lives and everything, but you know, like, it's mainly been football. And at the end, we'll get into different bits with Will, but then the podcast cut out when we were going to end it. So, but you know, it was still a really good podcast with Will. Good start era with Wee Weekly 3 and everything. He was a good guest and everything. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on, Cornell.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day, and thank you everyone for listening. This has been Cornell Brumant, Ashton Cross, and Dan Clayton, and me, George Colquhoun. And yes, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in episode 3. See you all in a bit, everyone.
Thank you.